This is what it is, okay? This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Water, my friend.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is Inner Balance TV, and I'm your host, Dwayne Hartman. Today, our show, we're going to be interviewing a good friend of mine, and someone who has contributed a great deal to the assistance here on this show of bringing a vibration. And who I'm talking about is Suzka. Now, her music played in the beginning of the show, and there's much more that you ought to know about her, because she is a fascinating individual in what she has accomplished in her life and what she's continuing to accomplish and how she shares with others. So stay tuned, because this is going to be a fascinating show. An interview with Suzka. I'm here with Suzka, and Suzka has just came out with an album, and it's called Source, and I suggest that you go pick it up. You'll see it below the chat screen here on the show, or you can go to what is it, Suzka? It's CD?
SuzkaMusic.com.
SuzkaMusic.com. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And we'll have that in the chat room as well for you. We've known each other for about 4 years online, never really met. This is the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, we have. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, since your first shows.
Yes, and you've allowed us to use your music on our shows to assist and help with the expansion and understanding the awareness of humanity.
Yes,
you've contributed a great deal to helping that happen.
Yeah, well, thanks. It's fun to have my music part of your soundtrack, basically. Something that I'm really into on a daily. So, if I can contribute something that I'm going to listen to anyways and spend some time, it's kind of an honor. So, yeah, it works out well.
Yes, yes. So you've been playing for some time. You were mentioning to me that you started out playing, and then you kind of you drifted away from it for a little bit, and then you just came back into it in full expression, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mom sort of guided me towards music, I guess, when I started, and guided me towards, violin lessons, which I didn't really enjoy very much, but I think it was just the way, and it was being taught to me, And so I learned what I needed to learn, and I did what I had to do, but when I had freedom to express myself, I completely changed my style, and I think that's when I really found myself, and that's when I enjoyed music. Before then, I didn't really enjoy music.
Right.
So it took a while. So I think it's really important on how it's introduced too into your life. Because it's everything. Shapes what you think about it.
That adding your personal expression to anything is what life is all about, right?
Absolutely.
To be able to take it and paint it differently, or create with it.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
It should be. I know I've done the same thing with the profession I'm in. It's I mean, I learned the one way, and then I started to just go with the expression, and that's when you really, I don't know, you feel that zest for life.
Your gift to the world.
That's right. Yeah,
purest form, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like the courage to do it too, right? Which is another step. A lot of people don't even go there because they're just, I don't know why.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. They're afraid to kind of step out of the box, right?
Perhaps.
But in this new era of awareness, we're becoming aware.
There's no boxes.
No, there's not. It's out of the box.
Circles and spiraling out of control, perhaps, but definitely no room for boxes.
That's right. Yeah.
No, I think that's an old paradigm, an old thinking. I think so.
Yeah. So a lot of your music has, and you were saying to me that all music has a spiritual ness to it, but there's this.
I'm not sure if I really mean that quote though, because I've heard otherwise. But
yeah, I
think for the most part it's pretty true. You can tell an energy through music, any types of music. I mean, and I think there's always there's usually, I don't know, there's soul coming through it if it's done somehow, somewhat organically.
That's right. But I mean, the song, Merkaba, I mean, that's very, very...
Yeah, that I didn't even know what Merkaba was, which is so funny, because I literally channeled that tune. I'm not even joking. I studied a little bit about Kabbalah, but not very much. I was raised Christian. I lived in Egypt, studied, Islam, studied a lot of different things, but I didn't really... It was actually when I got back from Egypt, and probably spent about a year just hanging out and writing and, reading poetry and whatnot, and then I channeled that song. I mean, it literally came to me, and I was just like, wow, that's interesting, and then I got my friend to sing on the verse, another male vocalist, Christos, and he turned it into this sort of Arabic thing, and then it just like took a life of its own.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of neat when that happens.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it was very organic, and it's still, yeah, I don't even know where it came from. It's pretty funny. My producer at the time was like, "Did you write this?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How did you write it?" I'm like, "I didn't really, actually," which is pretty funny.
So the beginning of the show, that's your song, and the beginning of the show, where it starts out, you know, "Be water, my friend."
Yeah.
Now the name of that song is
That's Bruce Lee. That's a quote from a Bruce Lee film.
Right,
that
right.
My sister found. Yeah, and we were just going through different snippets, and I was like, we need to have something in there, like some saying, you know, that's not me. And he found that one. I was like, that's perfect. That's so it. And then we just started. He improvised a guitar composition, and then I improvised on top of that, and we ended up using that as that song.
Oh, wow.
So it's complete just improv.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it works.
It's meant to be like just really, yeah, carefree.
It really works. I love that piece.
Oh, cool.
Know. And there was Vampire Wars.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was done a long time ago. That was done for a film, actually. That was done for a feature film called Bloodsuckers at the time. It's actually a cult sci-fi film.
Right.
Like a predecessor to all the ones that are out now, you know, that are on TV and all those series that came out before then. It was like just a cult horror film that was made, directed by a friend of mine, Matt Hastings.
Right,
and so he asked me to come on. He just said, you know, would you play in this scene? It's like a tantra scene. Would you come up with something? I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. You know, like, because I study yoga and I'm into that. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds fun. And so I went in, and then he had another producer making the beats, and we kind of just he made some beats for me, and then I just composed this little melody, and then he ended up using it in the middle of the film, so right at that particular scene, so it's kind of fun.
Yes, yes.
And then he ended up calling it Q's cue, because that was, I guess, the actor's cue to come in. So
okay, Q's
yeah,
cue.
then it's on the album just because I thought it's kind of a good introduction to my career in the music industry, because it's my first soundtrack, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, the first time I heard it, then I had something like, you know, I had to get in touch with you. I had to find out.
Really? Wow. That's
the
cool.
first time that I heard that, like I heard it on, I forget where it was that I heard it, and I thought I gotta find out, because I all of a sudden had all these inspirational visions of what I could do with this piece, right? And I had to find out whether, you know, what you would do, and you were just like, yeah, go ahead, use it, you know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, it's fun when you can inspire ideas. I think that's what it's all about. Like, that happens to me looking at pictures or nature or watching my cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I find inspiration everywhere. It's usually, you know, even least expected time, too. You can just be like, wow, you know.
You just have to be still.
Yeah.
You just open to that. You know, they used to say in Greece that, you know, genius was a spirit that you had to let in, right?
I believe that for sure, yeah.
And from what you share with me about your music, is that a lot of it is inspired and is channeled, almost channeled, right? Music, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, or just in maybe even expression of what's going on in the moment, and that's just my form of expression. So instead of me talking and telling you something, or, you know, maybe just voicing it out on my instrument is my way of expressing it.
Well, I think probably this would be a good time to hear something inspirational from you.
All right.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. it just comes through you like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. 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 That's good.
Yeah, I know it all the time, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's not, you know, sometimes you try to play and it's just not working, so it's not like I'm inspired 24/7 or anything. But definitely a big part of my day, you know, is creating, and just so I get into the zones really quickly.
Yeah. I find that too. The more that you suspend that old judgment stuff, right, and you just allow yourself to be in the moment, that you get very spontaneously, you know. There's times I write poetry just off of, you know, I'll take a look at a picture and all of a sudden I, you know, it's like, this picture deserves a poem, right?
Definitely, absolutely. You know? No, for sure. I think that's the best, though. I think that's when it's the most real, too. It's the most natural, you know, because you're just like instant on the spot. Like kids are like that, right? They're very natural and just like very expressive. And I think through life as adults, we start to get that toned down and out of us, which is a shame, because that's the thing that we should actually retain and have more of. Don't you find? Like, I find it's the opposite. You know, we're told to, like, not really show expression and not be too, you know, huggy and lovey-dovey and all these things. And it's just, like, it's kind of weird because it's such a suppression of natural emotion that I think makes people sick and unhealthy. I think that's probably the number one reason we have so much cancer, other than, you know, all the toxins.
I agree with you.
I mean, like, just keeping it, you know, basic as possible. I mean, we need to feel good inside, and that's where it starts. You know, so
depression is nothing more than the lack of expression.
Exactly.
Having to hold down that expression, and people get depressed. And then from depression, you're not in source anymore. You're, you know. You
got it. You know it. I don't even need to say anything about source. That's pretty much it. That's exactly
source.
It up.
Right.
That's like the best way of saying that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, that's
and with the flow, basically, it's all, you know, nature. It's natural. That's why I'm wrapping a big leaf behind me there. If you notice, people are like, "Oh, that's so retro. Why did you do a photo shoot when, you know, wearing some '60s dress?" And it's pretty funny. I'm like, because that's how I feel. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to be hip hop in the city when I'm, you know, really in the rainforest and playing, you know, my heart out.
Yeah.
Whatever I want. I don't want to be pigeonholed or put in a box there either. So, you know, I'm not trying to be anything other than myself, really. And that's, you know, that's a challenge in itself.
Well, that's
all the distractions in life. You know, everyone's trying to get you to do this and be that. And, you know, it's amazing how many people tell you what you should do and be, especially when you're an artist. It's incredible.
Exactly. You get, okay, she's, you know, she's this, she's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what was it, the mistake that came out? Not really a mistake, but what was it? Spiritual hip hop.
Oh, I love that. I think that was the best. No, that was like the best definition I've heard so far. I was like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, right away, I remember tweeting that or something. I was like, yeah, spiritual hip hop, you know, and people really felt that because it hasn't been described like that. People don't really do spiritual hip-hop. They just do hip-hop, you know? It's pretty fun.
Right.
It's good. It's neat.
So I made a mistake, I thought, and it ended up being another.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So is there anything else that you want to share with the listeners today about maybe how you got started, or what inspired this album specifically?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I traveled a lot. I went around the world, and I did a bunch of stuff with my life, and I sort of started with music, left music, didn't really know how I wanted to even express myself, my voice in the world. And I think when I started studying world music and jazz and all that, that gave me the idea to just express myself over beats, and I'll just pick the beats as I go along, and whatever moves me, that will become my foundation for expression.
Right, yeah.
So it started with that, and so luckily a good friend of mine, Suya, actually, who you know, connected me up with a producer, and he just started making, he makes really great beats, and he played them for me, and I was like, wow, I really like this, I really like that. Turns out he had done a bunch of classical violin already over beats, and had some of the same pieces that I wanted to do with him. already. So it was like, again, like he just fell out of the Matrix or something, you know? I'm like,
Right.
wow, okay, this is weird. So yeah, we just started recording, and then he was just like, why don't we just, you know, try something original? I was like, yeah. So I literally went to bed one night and woke up with like a melody and a riff in my head.
Yes, yes.
And it came out as Truth, actually, number 5 on the album.
Okay.
Featuring Emotions, who is one of the best in Vancouver for sure as an MC. He's really talented. He came and rapped on it. And yeah, so that started the whole riff, and that's me just doing this kind of heavy, slow type of just notes to the beat, basically, and that turned into Truth. And yeah, that's how we kind of got started. And then and then the theme was really Vivaldi's Four Seasons. So I wanted to have 4 pieces that people were familiar with,
Right.
classical Baroque pieces that the whole world has heard at some point, right? So I wanted that familiarity. So we picked 4 of those songs, and then we changed up the beat, and I composed additional parts to it of my own, and then got an MC to rap on those as well, just to kind of maybe get people that wouldn't listen to hip hop to listen and understand that it's not necessarily what's being shown to the public and and you know. What they hear in the papers and all that kind of stuff. It gets a really bad reputation, and it's not like that's not at all what it should be and originally was. So I think that's important to keep in mind as well, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just beats and music, you know, and message.
And the words to the songs. Do you write those?
Some of them, for my stuff I do, but when I get an MC to write or to come onto my song, I'll choose the MC for their particular style, and I just want them to do them. So every MC is his own person and does their own thing, and that's how I like it, because I just want people to express themselves over what I've created along with my producer, you know, and then have them add their voice to it.
Right.
I think that just, again, makes for a really organic, natural compilation.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah.
So I know I just got my album the other day, Source, and I've been
actually got you in the mail, because some people haven't been getting it. If you haven't,
it's right there.
Getting it, please just email me. I will send it to you personally.
No, it showed up, and yeah.
Excellent.
And I've been listening to it, and I love it, of course.
Nice, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some edgy stuff on there too. I'm warning people. It's, you know, it doesn't hold back. Like, I specifically chose MCs that don't hold back and say what's on their mind in their life, in their particular situation. Right. And everyone's got their story, and that's what you hear, I think, in it. And I want people to keep that in mind. It's meant to be like that. Just, you know, just listen to it non-judgmentally and just know that everyone's coming from a very real place. So.
Well, I know. When I was listening to the words in it, the words in the lyrics. Yes. The lyrics are really, I mean, about the awakening of the consciousness right now. It's all about that.
I'm glad you think that, yeah, because I think so, and that's why I chose those songs. I hope other people get that as well, because that's definitely what I'm talking about, or I wanted to talk about with the record, in other voices. Again, I wanted everyone to have a voice, right? So, yeah, I'm proud of the compilation of people that came together. I think it's amazing. I feel really blessed, because there's amazing artists, you know, so I'm like, cool, thanks for jumping on my little record here, you know.
And you're working on another one. We don't have a name yet, but you're working on
I'm calling it Source 2 for now, because I'm going to re-release this one with just instrumentals and the beat. So there won't be rappers on it, MCs. Even though I love you all, you know, they're just so that other people can just jam over it or sing or rap themselves. So it's kind of like a instrumental mixtape.
You encourage that. You encourage people to listen to your music and create as well.
Hopefully, yeah. I want it to be a soundtrack. Like, if you just decide to go down into your basement and paint, and you haven't painted in years or something, you know, just yeah, basically.
Yeah, because it's
on a journey.
It's who you are. Is to inspire that in others.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you've inspired that in me.
Oh, good.
Because when I heard your first piece of music that I heard, it inspired me. And then when I talked with you, it was okay with you that we do something.
Yeah.
And it might not be the same with everybody, but it just,
Yeah.
you know, but you encourage that in people, that they find that spark within them and express it. Are you a music teacher as well?
I am, yes. How did you know?
Oh,
Can you tell her, did I tell you that?
a long time ago you told me you were,
Okay.
I think you were a music teacher as well.
Yeah, I've been teaching for like 10 years actually, so I've got a lot of violin students out there. Some are still with me, some have fallen off.
Yeah.
As they do. Violin's a tough instrument. It's a tough one to learn. And I'm really straight up with people too. I'm straight up with kids. I tell them, you know, are you here because you want to be here or because your parents want you to be here? You know, I ask those kind of questions. I don't mess around because I don't want to waste my time or their parents, you know. And sometimes they're really honest and they're cute and they're just like, yeah, my parents want me to be a violinist. I'm like, all right, well, I'll still teach you, you know. I have no problem with that. It's just good to know. And it's just one of those things that I'll do sometimes. So, but yeah, the students I have are great. They're really loyal. They, you know, come back year after year. So I definitely have a good little crew of about 15 students.
Is that right,
now. Yeah, that's
good,
hopefully, you know, enjoy doing it and just playing with different groups and or even orchestras and even at their school, whatever they end up doing, you know.
Right.
I tell them about stuff that I do for other artists, like sessions and stuff, and they get really excited. They're like, oh, you do soundtracks? Oh, you do this, you do that, you know, and they never connect the two together like I never did, you know. You don't think of, you hear a commercial and how it's made or who did it, the instruments, the musicians, you know.
So have you done other soundtracks for movies as well? Yeah,
since that for sure. Yeah, that was I think the first one, but I've done quite a few more features, mainly horror features since then, and then one war feature. It's a Vietnam War feature, and just like an intro. It's a solo to the intro to the movie, and then just some songs have just been picked up for like recently. One of the songs, Narcotic on the Source album, featuring Maestro Fresh West, who is godfather of the Canadian hip hop up here. He's like a really well-respected hip-hopper MC. That one got picked up for the show for a TV series called The Listener.
The Listener.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay.
I haven't really watched it yet, but I will.
I haven't watched TV in a few years, so
yeah, I know. I get pretty bored pretty quick. I don't know. TV doesn't really hold my attention, so I just I just I don't know what happens. I can't do it.
I know when you're in that creative, you know, it's hard to just sit there and because you want to participate and create.
Totally, I'll jump in the screen and jump in the TV and jam with the people that I'm watching. You know, it's just I can't sit here and watch it. No. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. I feel like it's very passive, which is great. I mean, I love to just chill out sometimes, but I don't have a lot of time to get into TV shows or anything.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Well, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to interview.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. You know, as I watch your show all the time, I'm a big fan, so I think you've got a great message to put out to the universe, so I think more people should get on that vibe, you know?
And so do you, and I want people to pick up your album and listen because it's very inspirational. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right. Have a good
Okay.
night.
You too.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we're too melodic for the Philharmonics. It's narcotic, yeah, we narcotic. We're too melodic for the Philharmonics. We narcotic, yeah, narcotic. She played the violin, violins blazing on the song. I stepped on the podium, raising my baton. The crowd goes wild, fascinated cause I'm on. And everybody witnessing the making of a storm. It's the rap exodus, beats are dope enough to cause alarm and make the autumn sky open up. Legendary rhymes come from African hymns, combined with Czechoslovakian strings. The brass, woodwinds, peep the metronome. The timpani's dope, but they lost patience. Hearts break, heartbeats drop a semitone. The symphony's cool, but they lost cadence. We're too melodic for the Philharmonics. It's narcotic, yeah, we narcotic. Beats are psychotic, make you lose your composure. Peep the composer with the strings, now it's over. Yeah, we too melodic for the Philharmonics. It's narcotic, yeah, we narcotic. Beats are psychotic, make you lose your composure. Peep the composer with the strings, now it's over.
Well, that was a wonderful interview. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's so much more that Suzka's into as well. I want to play a short clip here now so that you can see she does something with other artists, painters, where she plays and they create this wonderful art. And then the picture is sold, of course, as a donation to the UN. And here's a short clip of what else she does. And you can follow her on Twitter and find out when her next events are so that you can keep track and take in a show if you wish. thank you everyone for coming out this evening. And I do hope you like the interviews. We'll be having more of them. And you can always get in touch with Suzka on Twitter. That's Suzka Violin on Twitter. And just a reminder that if you're interested in the personal transformation program or the human harmonics program that I offer, or even the hypnotherapy training program, keep in touch, because those programs are running all the time now. And if you want a personal session and you need to raise your vibration and feel even better than you thought you could, you give me a call for a change. So until next week, love, light, and blessings, Dwayne.